Hello everyone, welcome back to another podcast video. We're on the 20th installment of the State of FEH Podcast. I'm your host DTM, and I have with me, as always, Joel and Oblivion. How are you two doing this fine evening?
Doing okay, and I didn't know we hit the big 20. Oh man, we're like a fifth of the way there to like big 100.
Yeah, slowly but surely we're getting there. We've come a long way.
Yeah, it's the DTM cast that everyone knows and loves, where DTM tries to rein in our ramblings for 1 hour.
We all enjoy the ramblings.
Me and Joel just go crazy with Dev 2 ideas, and then DTM trying to stop us.
Yes, it's clearly you two that are the Dev 2. Like, I've seen some of your ideas, Oblivion, and I'm just like, thank goodness you're not a part of IS.
See, I always try to think of like ways that could be like evil and make money, right? Because I figure that's what IS wants to do. So,
yes, for sure. And yeah, they've definitely had quite a bit of the additions that we will discuss. A lot of speculations on whether it will be really good or really bad, but we'll get to that later. For now, we can just start us off with the Genealogy and Plumeria banner, which seems like forever ago, mainly because it's like,
right.
Honestly, I don't think that many people were excited about besides Plumeria. But yeah, it did come with a very interesting skill with like Def Res Ploy, and obviously everyone's like, it's the end of Legendary Robin. It's the end of like Elion. Is that really the case?
Okay, so I actually like this skill. I think this is like the perfect medium. Like it's like right between a hard counter and a soft counter, right? Where sometimes they add counters and it's just not enough to actually do anything, right? And then there's counters like Freyr where it's just way too far, in my opinion, right? So we have Ploy. Ploy's nice, right? It works in a certain range. It's not like a global effect. There's a res check on it, right? Not every unit can use it effectively because you need like resistance. So I think it's a good place, and I think it can counter in the right, situations, but like it's not so powerful that you just use it on every team whenever you like need it. So I think it's good. It's like a tiny nerf to Robin, which Robin needed a little bit of a nerf, right?
I completely agree. It's like if you're looking at the range, you've got Stall Ploy that was completely useless, and you've got Elamine's False Start, which was way too far. And this is a nice medium. But I will say that PM1 said something that made my blood curdle, and he said this. He didn't say exactly these words, but this is the end of Legendary Robin because it means we're about to get it in the form of a duo skill.
Wait, which really? The Ploy effect, you mean?
Yeah, the Ploy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. I wonder how good that would be, though. It'd have to be, like, reusable, right? Like, if it's only usable once per map, I don't think it's that good.
It depends on the range. I mean, if it's just the three columns and 3 rows, then I think it's fine. If they go out to the 5, then I think that changes things a bit.
Yeah, because, like, the 5 range is part of why, like, Thor's effect is, like, super, super good. Like, really, really hard to avoid. Whereas, like, at least in Summoner's duels, like, 3x3 is not that big of a range for you to get your effect just due to how the maps work.
I also think like if you can use it multiple times, that's like super, super strong. But if it's like one time, because the way Robin works is like every turn, so you kind of like can play around it more if it's one time, right? Like sometimes with like when you're playing against Duo Dagger and she pops her skill, you're just like chill. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna play really safe until it runs out, right? But when you can do it every like other turn or every 3 turns, whatever it is, that's when it gets really scary. So if they could do that, that would really shut Robin down a lot.
Right, because like there are like running into like Thor teams now that can shut off Grand Strategy. Oftentimes you just pop Valentine's Crumb's dual skill, which gives you Grand Strategy again, and so like it just completely negates that. Like you obviously use the triangle attack, but you are able to like have your save still unity stacked, and so yeah, you are able to weather that one turn, and then you get Grand Strategy for all the rest.
When we get to the Halloween banner later on, I have some choice words I had to cut out of my own video because I knew people were going to get mad. I'll talk about it here.
I'm more interested in the fact that Plumeria as a unit has seen use in almost every phase of the game that I've looked at. Like I've seen her more in Chaos defense, but also a lot in Summoner duels, which surprised me. Dancers are just not that popular, but the warping is really, really good, and giving folks extra range is a lot of fun. So,
right, because
I
she
think
gives
her dance is just ridiculous. Like her dance is so good.
yeah, she gives charge, right, as part of her
Yes.
dance.
Which is a warp.
Right.
And
right.
yeah, just have, again, like in SD, like mobility is everything. Like that's why guidance 4 and all this warping is so important. And just being able to get that in a dance. I think like generally like dancers have sort of fallen off because they aren't as efficient in terms of like action economy. But if you're able to provide a really, really good support, then well, you have that in addition to the dance that can enable that flexibility.
I think it's also like Summer Duels has gotten so trade heavy that you really can't afford to have a unit that can't trade. Like that's part of the reason why Gatekeeper I think hasn't like exploded in popularity, even though he counters like warping, is because he just can't trade. Like he just can't kill anything, and so you need a dancer who can trade or offers just like insane value. And I think that she does do that because like, right, we have Hinoka who is like the charge queen, right? Everybody knows that, but the thing about Hinoka is that she's not sneaky at all, right? Like you know the charge is coming. You can see the charge range at the beginning of the turn. But with Plumeria, you could use a unit, like move them into a position, then give them a charge. And then you can really catch people off guard with that. Or you could put 2 units into positions where they're like, okay, I can dance either of these units and give them charge. Like, what are you going to do here, right? So I think it's a little bit more tricky, which I like.
Yeah,
And there are other pieces to her dance that are also really sneaky, like the exposure and the debuffs. And it's really good.
Yeah, she's a very solid unit.
Yeah. And honestly, like I've gotten caught by like that range extension as well, just like going into SD, not gonna lie, but yeah, she's very like deceptive in terms of like the pressure that she gives, which is really nice. Like there's a lot of rearmed units that even though like they're amazing fodder, they're not exactly the greatest units, but Plumeria being able to basically have a role in both is really, really good value, which is always what you want to see on a rearmed unit.
Exactly.
How many Plumerias have you gotten or like foddered or etc.? I know you've been working on a project or something like that.
Me? I have 2. That's it. So I didn't get that many. I only went for 1 spark.
I thought you were
same for me.
I thought you were going to go with like a soaring guidance like fodder machine or something, but
I
guess
did.
I was mistaken.
I put all the fodder on her. Like she has everything. She has like flared sparrow, soaring guidance, guidance 4, everything. So she's ready. I just don't have any copies of her because I didn't really want to spend a lot of orbs.
Right. Well, I guess
I did spend a lot of orbs, and I only got 2 copies.
Ooh.
Yeah, that banner was rough. Like a lot of the summoning videos I've seen, like all got really bad luck, which is really unfortunate. I guess we have to hope and pray by some miracle that this wins a revival vote. If it comes down to it, it's not going to win. Let's be real.
That thing is so competitive. Like it's crazy. Like it's like oh my gosh. Like I cannot believe CYL got knocked out, and then Elincia got knocked out, which I'm not happy about. And then like stupid Ganglot. Like why are you guys voting for Ganglot? If you were voting for Ganglot, we're not friends anymore. Sorry.
Ganglot, I don't know what the appeal is. Like, yes, she is the only like infantry melee rearmed right now, but like surely, like not everyone has, there's not that many people that like have super efficient fodder with her with like I don't know, like close call 4 or spurn 4 or what have you. I don't know. It's really weird.
The problem is the type of fodder though. Like think of guidance 4 or soaring guidance. I have at least 15 units in my barracks that I would love to have that. You know, I mean, it's very usable on a wide range of units. Like for Ganglot, I mean, you're really looking to do Omni tanks, and I really just don't need that many of them.
Right.
I love them. See, I don't need that many, but I still get them.
Yeah, that's the key. Everyone loves their Omni tanks. Like,
it's very true.
I think the thing is like people just want the arcane axe, but like that arcane axe kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It's like probably one of the worst arcane weapons we've gotten. Like it's so poop.
It's really only good for Gale Force dancers, in my opinion. Like that's basically it.
Even then, it offers healing. So I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, but what can you do? It's our only option right now, right? Like axes are kind of in a tough spot.
I want you guys to rewind your brains a bit and remember that folks put Lilith Float axe on their units because it looked cool.
I remember.
And I mean, the Reaper axe does look absolutely phenomenal.
That is true.
I will give it that.
You know what I should do? I should sell like weapon skins so that people could like flex. Yeah.
That's one of my things. I have a whole. I need to make that video, but I'm gonna get people like to unsubscribe to me because I'm have so many degenerate ideas to make money. But like selling skins is definitely one of them. I think that's like a totally untapped market in FEH.
Like so many people like summon for Genshin weapon banners just for the drip. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, this is definitely an untapped market.
People love like aesthetics. Like that's like the number one thing. They like that more than like competitive gameplay most of the time.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess like to circle back to Plumeria and everything, that Plumeria as herself as a unit is really, really good. The rest of the units on that banner, honestly, I'm not that impressed. Like Ced, I guess, was okay, but I think the main thing that people like noticed him about was like him having like Infantry Pulse 4, which I know a certain YouTuber is very excited about. I just wish it was like a lot more available though, because like that could be super useful for like Infantry Pulse chains and making that a lot easier too.
I was really sad because I actually wanted one Ced because I was gonna kill him to duplicate Infantry Pulse 4 because like it's such an easy skill to duplicate, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I was like, oh man, if I could just get one copy, I could like put on every single Gale Forcer on my like Ether 8's offense team. That'd be so nice. Like it's perfect for Brave Marianne. Like it's like amazing. But I didn't get a copy, so I was waiting for him to get a rerun, which probably won't be that too far off. But other than that, I think Ced's only really good is like his AoE, which is, I mean, it's cool to be good at AoE, but like I'd rather use Golvik. So.
Same.
He's an updated Sonya. I mean, that's
yeah.
And Sonya's good. Like Sonya, you can still use her because spamming specials is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's what you got there. I think if you rewound a year, Infantry Pulse 4 would be amazing. But we have a lot of different ways to get special cooldown now.
Yeah.
Right.
They went super hard on it last year, and then this year they add even more like ways to like take advantage of it with like Gambit and like Infantry Pulse 4, all that kind of stuff too. So like it's just gotten ridiculous, to be honest. And Claude, Mr. I just have infinite lethalities.
Yep. Like what are cooldowns anymore, right? Like it's all specials all the time now.
What's a 4 cooldown special?
I will say, I really hope that like we can get some like Infantry Pulse for flyers as well, because I've been testing out an AoE Golvik team inspired by PM1's recent video. But like with Valoria, she needs just one more cooldown. And if it's light season, you can have Asker, which is fine. But like Astra season, I have to run like Garrick of all people. Like, we need like a flying Valentine's Cromp that can like reposition Golvik over the mountains and then charge that AoE, and then we go ham.
Yeah, I was like PM1. I've been using almost the same team. I don't use Leaf or Legendary Leaf like he does. I've been using just Valentine's Cromp just to charge her special and chill with it, and it's been pretty good. Like you mentioned that like sometimes you'll get on those maps where like you don't have a clear reposition, so then you have to like Smiter, which kind of sucks. But other than that, it's like pretty consistent.
I'm just all Kagero all the time. It's that unit is ridiculous in AR.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Just with Disarm Trap 4?
Disarm
I feel like Disarm Trap 4
4
is so weird. Like I
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
how to explain it, but like the fact that you really need that skill, right? Like, but then when you go to like a different game mode, you really don't want Disarm Trap 4, but then it has offensive no follow-up, so you want it. And you're like, oh, I don't know. Like it just like seems a little bit weird to me outside of AR.
For ranged cavalry, it's amazing.
Well, offensive no follow-up is amazing, right? But like, imagine if you could get offensive no follow-up and something else instead of Disarm Trap. Like, I think that.
Oh, definitely. But Cavs don't have that yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is crazy because melee Cavs have like a million different versions of flow skills.
Yeah. IS hates range Cavs. Like I think they have to pay for the sins of Reinhardt, I guess.
Forever.
Flyers, though, have been getting really, really good. Just recently, we got Arion as a Grail unit, which just seems absolutely insane to me, like just granting charge. like one of like Hinoka's main draws as a free-to-play unit, and he's like upcoming. He's going to be bonus season, like next season in AR as well. So we kind of like charge Golveg just immediately. Like, what are your thoughts on Arion being free?
I have a love-hate relationship with this kind of thing, and I love that they have a unit that is, people can. It's easy to summon for, so merges aren't as much of an issue. Grails and all that great stuff. Mm-hmm. But by the end, if you're looking for a quote cheap version, by the time you put all the stuff on him, he becomes a very, very expensive unit, and you probably could have gotten another one and done just as well.
Like another unit with like that kind of
another unit. And I mean that in general. I mean in this case, I mean you've got Hinoka, so it's tough. Like I love the unit. I think it's great, and I think people will have a lot of fun. People thinking that he's free is the part that I kind of get wound up about.
Yeah, nothing's free nowadays. You gotta get all the skills. I mean, honestly though, I think he's better than the banner units. Like I would have, other than Plumeria, like they should have put him on the banner and put like Ced or LaBelle as the GA.
Honestly, true. Yeah, like
it was so better.
Like no one I know like was actually excited for Fabale, like at all. Like I forgot his name like literally 10 times during my reaction.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, like I sort of agree to an extent. Like Arion, like you probably want either Guard Bearing 4 or Gambit, and then like Guidance to really, really make him shine. If you have like a spare Ingrid with like all that fodder, it becomes a lot easier. Assuming you have like a Nans or something. One day I'll get one.
Hey, she's on a banner right now.
Oh,
yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm totally going to spend orbs on that. But yeah, I do agree to a certain extent. But I think just having like the option of having a free-to-play charge support is good. Like, at least in Ether raids, I mean, you can just slap Smite and Wings of Mercy on him, and he's pretty good to go, at least for that mode.
And you guys are both completely right. He's fantastic. He's great. The thing I get hung up on is when people think he's free. Right. And I'm like, it kind of requires a lot of investment.
That's the problem with a lot of units this year. It's like, even if they come with a busted kit, like a month later, like you're like, oh man, this skill is really good for them. I really want that skill. You're like, let me kill a 5-star for it.
Yeah. Rip all the Golvex that was plotted for Flared Sparrow. That will be missed.
Yep. I'm really sad I had to kill so many of her because I really wanted to add like Merger, but like it's just too much value.
Yeah. Do you know what is free though? We just recently crossed the 1,000 hero milestone with Patty given out for free. And honestly, I did not expect all of the celebration and stuff that they did along with it. But yeah, what are your thoughts on 1,000 heroes in FEH and Patty being the representative of that, I guess?
I'm gonna be honest. When you said it's free, I thought you were gonna say like and subscribing, and I was kind of left real hard.
Dang it, missed opportunity. All right, like and subscribe right now. Pay for my sins.
Did you guys see the I think it's a Japanese player who like summoned like I don't know how many
saw
patties,
that.
Like 1,000 patties.
They summoned on the Halloween banner and got like a bajillion Flayns for like I think 30 patties or something like that. It's actually insane.
It was 3 plus 10s.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I could
still have orbs left.
I think I read that they were like saving since launch, so they had like 20,000 orbs or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's what I read as well.
Wow.
Extreme dedication. And I respect that. I really respect that a lot.
I have to know why they like Patty so much. They need like a video on it.
Yeah. If only we could play this game easily and have it accessible,
Yeah.
I just think it's hilarious that they put a Dragalia Lost character in for our 1,000th character.
Oh my gosh.
I never actually played Dragalia's Lost, so when like people made those jokes, like I was like, Patty was in Dragalia, like, what? When was this happening? Yeah.
It's a nice nod, though. You know, the art is definitely in that style, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I do think the celebration was nice though. Like, you know, getting the banner was like pretty solid. Like, there's a lot of good units on there. Like, it wasn't like, you know, insane or anything, but like definitely nice. And then also, like, you know, I don't know how I feel about Patty. Like, I liked my idea, of course, because it was my idea, so of course I liked it. But like having Alphonse come back on that banner and being the 1000th tier, I think would have been so good. Like, give us Ascended Alphonse. That would have been so cooler than Patty. I know that one person especially loves Patty, but like, it's Alphonse, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a nice little circular tie-in.
Yeah, like, I didn't really expect anything for the 1,000 Heroes, but when you had your idea of like all Ascended Asker trios to like celebrate with like Alphonse as the 1,000th hero, I was like, oh my goodness, I now expect something. Why are you doing this to me? But like, again, like you, like, I did enjoy like the celebration stuff. I enjoyed the banner profiles. I enjoyed the quiz. There were some really troll ones that people made, which I enjoyed as well. Yeah, it's like, I definitely didn't expect IS to acknowledge it, but they did, and it felt really nice. Like, yeah, it felt really nice.
They did good.
Yeah,
they did indeed.
Now they can just give us that Faye channel. I'll be much more happy with that. Soon TM.
Yeah. Do you know who else they did good? Legendary Elincia, who has taken over Arena win season by storm. Well, that's okay, I guess I know, Oblivion, you're a huge Elincia fan. Did they do Elincia justice with this legendary ult?
I mean, they definitely did her justice. I'm just picky. I just wanted I wanted a staff legendary. Like, I really wish they would have switched Ascended and legendary. Because imagine if it was exactly the same kit, right? But it was a staff instead of a sword. I think she'd be way better. Like, she'd be bonkers crazy good. So I think I would, you know, that's the only thing. But other than that, it's really cool. I love that she has Guidance 5, essentially. She gets that no follow-up support, which, you know, isn't like insane support, but it can be given to every movement type, which is really, really good. We need more of that, right? So that way Cavs and like Flyers don't have to suffer as much, which I like. And then she also, you know, she just teleports and hits everybody really hard and has Kanto too. So like, she's really cool. I like it. I kind of didn't expect it at this exact moment, but, you know, I'm not gonna complain.
Okay, I'm gonna add one thing though. It has to be our first Brave staff.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I wanted it to be a Brave staff. I thought that would have been so cool.
Missed opportunity by IS.
Yes.
There.
That would have been so cool. And they could have like introduced like her inheritable skill could have been like a high scoring assist skill or something like that. You know what I mean? That way she could actually score well.
Finally.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
Finally have healers be viable in Arena without suffering scoring. Like, what is this?
Actually, I don't know if I want that. I have like no C disrupt in Arena at all.
What are your thoughts on Elincia, Joel?
Okay, so I love the unit. Like, I've been playing with her a ton. I think we have some pain coming in an Arena. I think it's kind of the second coming of Chrom, legendary Chrom, just because of the massive amounts of range she gives the opposing team. Probably not as bad because we have better ways to deal with stuff like that now, but still in that kind of category. I have to say this though. So I was looking at the banner, you know, doing my reaction, and I complimented how just amazing the outfit was, and I really, really liked it. And then someone said, yeah, it's great, except for the funny pants. And I can't unsee it now.
I'm not looking. I refuse to look.
I'm like, what are those? Are they pants or stockings or tights or... Anyway,
Joel, you're ruining Oblivion's enjoyment of Elincia.
I'm not looking. I'm just not gonna look. If I don't look right now, I'll forget about it, and then I won't recognize it.
Yeah, don't look at Legendary Elincia for the next 24 hours, and we're golden.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a completely side note for a second, though. But in Final Fantasy XIV, there's this really epic song. Like, it goes super hard. It's like one of the biggest boss fights, and I loved it. And then someone goes, and it's in Latin. And someone goes, "Did you notice that like the lyrics say big fat tacos?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, yeah, it says big fat tacos. And now every time I hear the song, all I can think of is big fat tacos. And I hate it. I hate it now.
Yes, sometimes that happens. You can't unsee it, and yeah, Joel here brought the curse with us, but don't worry, we're going to do our best to expel that from our minds. Go ahead.
But I mean, I've been using her in SD all week. I think she's phenomenal. I think she's a ton of fun. I gave a breakdown, but I mean, and I mean, we talked about this a ton, but we kind of came to the agreement that she was a very good SDS unit and a serviceable SDR unit.
Yep.
Right.
And I think that's fantastic for her. I like the Gambit build on her a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Gambit is really, really good on her with the true damage and the brave. Like, yeah. Like, obviously, like, when it comes to SD, the choice is between, like, Guard Bearing or Gambit. But I think, like, with the brave, you just gain so much from the true damage that it's worth, like, not running a lower cooldown special for her.
And especially because you go Miracle on that build. So, like, all you really need is to, like, survive one hit, right? Like,
right.
Because, like, technically, if you hit by Catcher, right, it's 2 hits. So you just have to have more than 1 HP, and then the Miracle will save you. And then if not, you should be fast enough where you're not getting, like, you know, double naturally. So, like, it works really well. I'm just waiting for December, because December, it should be Elincia, Veronica, and Brave Robin. So it's, like, perfect setup. Like, Robin's going to get, I mean, 1 copy of Robin, Robin's going to die, Elincia's going to be awesome.
No, you can't kill Robin like that. What are you doing?
I've already killed, like, 4 of them. I've killed, like, so many Robins.
We
the
need
Brave
Gambit
units this year have been massacred. We do.
Yeah, we need
oh my God.
Gambit 3 in the normal full stat.
I'll take it in seasonal pool. Give me it just anywhere.
But yeah, I agree with what you said about Elincia, Joel, and SD. Like, definitely SDS, like, meta, serviceable in SDR. Similar to Pala in a way, like, back then. But, like, obviously Pala's more of a, like, melee hit and run unit that's really anti-meta, while Elincia's more, like, frontline warping support that can still hit hard. But yeah, I think like they fall in the similar level. Yeah, it's kind of insane to think like the level a unit needs to be like not serviceable in SDR, but like meta in SDR.
Right. It gets more and more difficult to be SDR like meta every single month.
The other fun thing that's kind of gimmicky, but a Vantage build on her is kind of bonkers. So I got stumped by that a couple times.
We should be like Vantage for.
Yeah, with NCD and tempo, right, Oblivion?
Yes. Yes. Dude, if they give me that, I'm gonna cry on stream. I'm gonna be so happy.
And it'll be infantry locked.
No, Joel, they can't do that. Stop.
Oh my God. The monkey's paw right here.
That's when I show up to IS's headquarters, flying to Japan.
Yes. That'll be.
Can you live stream that?
I will. I'll definitely I'll bring Connor Sack. It'll be great.
Yeah. Like, just drive up to like Dev 2 to like know what's going on.
Like, how could you do this to me?
But yeah, Elincia, like, obviously very, very strong unit. We all agree on that. Where would you rank her in terms of the current Wind Legendary? Like, what's her competition? It's like Yuri and Veronica, and I guess some others as well, right?
I think on my original placement, I had her between Veronica and Yuri, but now I think I just have her number 1.
Same. I think she's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I go ahead.
I was a little bit afraid that she would miss kills, but it really hasn't been too much of a problem.
But she will eventually. But even then, like, she's going to age, and she's still going to have warp.
Exactly. Right. She'll still have... I think that's better than Yuri and Veronica, who just are just damaged pretty much. I mean, Yuri has foul play, I guess.
Yeah. Yuri has the foul play in Kanto, which can be useful in, like, hit and run in arena, which is hard to do just in an arena in general. But, like, I think for Elincia, just, like, the warping is just super valuable, especially with the flyer-favored maps that we have in arena. And she herself can also Kanto, so she can also do, like, hit and run as well And so
Kanto 2. Oh man, that was so juicy. I can't believe they gave it to her. Like Kanto 2 is just so much better than Kanto 1. It's not even funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need Hit and Run 4 to come out, and then we'll be golden on that for Arena. Yeah. We have all these ideas for new skills that will probably break the game, but I mean, hopefully they'll be fun.
We'll hate them like a month later.
Well, I mean, IS is going to break the game anyway. They might as well have a fun unit to do it with.
Yes.
Right.
Right. We did get the Halloween banner just recently, like 4 days ago, with Timerra, Flayn, and the Harmonic Annas, the double Annas, just coming to town, I guess. Fedison popped off and was able to get a +10, so congrats. I guess we can start with Harmonic Anna, because Harmonic Anna also has Kanto too, and is also a flyer. How well do you think Harmonic Anna will be able to find a place in the various modes that we have?
I think she'll be fine. Like, I mean, she's very similar to Elincia, right? But instead of having like Guidance 5, you just have Guidance 4, which is still really, really good.
Right.
And the thing is, like, while she doesn't have a Brave weapon, she does have DR Piercing, which is really, really good, and Adaptive Damage, like, and which works really well with Chrom. And Brave Chrom has just been getting better and better. So, like, I think like she definitely has a place. And the Miracle build that you can just get for free because of her Harmonic skill, like, she's definitely a good unit. I just don't think she's like the I don't know if she's like a sleeper unit like Duo Ymir was for like a month.
I think she might be. I'm seeing a whole bunch of variants on teams that are actually using Rain Snap now.
Because we were just waiting on that. Snap is so good.
Yeah, we all knew it was coming.
Right,
This is actually on a decent unit that you're going to see out there. So that's why we're seeing it more.
Poor Sayri fans.
Oh,
I know.
Sorry.
But no, like, I understand where you're coming from, Joel. Like, I've been seeing, like, basically Harmonic Anna being used in, like, the Cap rushdown teams in SD, where she can provide Chrom with the Hexblade, no follow-up, and the extra movement, and just, like, be super powerful, in addition to her being, like, just a powerful nuke as well. And so I definitely think, like, she can slot in very, very well there. Like, I guess it's sort of comparable to Carla, except that she has like the damage reduction halving and not like the piercing based off specials, which I think the halving is generally better in case you run into like Gambit Lucia's. But yeah, I don't think she's like top of the meta, but I do think she's definitely like has a place on like certain teams.
I think she will catch people off guard. Let's say it that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. We need more Snap though. I think because like when we saw Snap, like this skill's so good, we just haven't gotten it until now. So like IS, where's the attack defense version? Like, come on, man. It's been months.
I was playing an SD match and I was super confused because like Ingrid had like extra movement and I was like so confused how. And then like I went back to the replay, I was like, oh, it's the Snap. That's what it was. Like I thought it was just like a hold skill or something like that when I was initially playing.
They need to fix their art, like the icon art, like especially with Flared Sparrow. Like it's so difficult to look at, and it's already like when you're playing SD, not only do you have to like memorize all the people's weapons, right? Because you don't really have time to read it, but not being able to look at a skill and just recognize it is not good. Like they need to really differentiate that in some way.
Right.
Well, it'll be a lot easier when they add in that extra slot. So.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh god.
Oh boy. There are other units on the banner as well. Like we had Timerra that introduced with us bonus doubler 4. Timerra I think is really interesting because she provides that like pulse and guard support, which maybe not that valuable in SD because of the limited range, but in Ether Raids I do think that, you know, decharging like all the instant dead eyes and whatnot can be very useful.
I think she falls into that melee frontliner roll really easily, except that if you're a flyer, then you get guidance as well. So that's kind of, to me, that's the downside there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's like a really good Omni tank, like for AR. Like she does most of the things she wanted to do. She hits really hard. She kills things, right? She turns off specials, has the guard aura that Arvel has. Like, she's a solid unit. I don't know. I have so many Omni tanks. Like, if you're not my favorite, I'm not gonna invest into you at this point.
Yeah, and
the value of Omni tanks in general is just starting to come down, though. So it's tough.
Yeah, Omni tanks had like their 1 year in the sun when Emblem came out, but we're starting to see that sort of get reversed as well. And yeah, tanking in general, I think, has been getting a lot harder with the powerful nukes we've gotten.
They just keep putting out crazier and crazier and crazier nukes. It's like ridiculous. It's like, slow down, please.
Yeah, like even this.
Go ahead. What were they thinking with Claude? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, what? Huh?
Like, it's insane to me. Like, how did they justify it? Like, hey, lethality, the possibly strongest special in the game that is only held back by its 4 cooldown. Let's just give it out for free on a free attack. Like, what?
Yeah.
And he has like super close counter.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there's like very specific builds people are doing because of that. Like, I do with like Scal and Hardy Fighter 2, basically, to survive like both lethality procs. Like, thankfully for me, like Valentine's Lucina with the proper setup can avoid the double. So like we can work with that. But yeah, it's really tough, basically. But hey, we have Omni tank support with Flayn 2.0, I guess. Let's go.
So many people got mad at me because I was not happy about Flayn. I got so many comments like, how dare you say that Flayn is not the cutest thing in the world? You are evil. Just like, I don't know. I think her outfit looks weird, and she's just like improved Flayn. Like, the problem is like DR drive is just not that great anymore, right? Like, we see that with Elamine, right? Elamine has fallen off a cliff, and she has arguably better support still than that new Flayn. Like, why would I want that Flayn? Like, I'm good. Like,
I mean, the new Flayn, like, the only thing that's new is like the foe attack bonus neutralization, I think, right?
It's that and something else. But it was just not very impressive.
Right. And it's the breath. It's the breath. I remember.
Right.
But yeah, like, I don't know. Flayn has definitely like OG Flayn has definitely fallen off, and like this is barely any better. And so yeah, it's.
Here's the thing, like, rewind to 2020 when original Flayn came out. If you flopped them, you would, I mean, she would be better, but you still wouldn't just go crazy and talk about how the game was just broken, right?
Right.
It would slot right into the 2020 meta. So it just didn't catch up. Like, it needed an extra thing. Like, DR is a bonus.
Right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You know, dodge. I mean, they have that already, but that's yeah.
Yeah, it's just that no one wants
flow as a skill. Everybody gets it. Oh man.
No one wants to run Sane though, so we're spared for that for now. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, IS has go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. Like, I felt like, why didn't they do Seadall dirty? Like, Seadall is so popular. They could have just swapped it, let Flayn be free to play, like, nice little, everybody having fun with their cat Flayn, and made Seadall like a Chad. Like, why do this to me?
I mean, to be fair, I do like his weapon. Like, considering that we already have a red arcane tome, like, this red tome is actually, like, pretty good, considering we had one of that. Like, you can run, like, bonus doubler 10 or something, and it's like, really good. Yeah. But yeah, I feel that.
For fans of the unit, I mean, you can merge him easily. So that's, I guess, easily in quotes. It takes less orbs than your average 5-star in order to get him. It still takes orbs, but yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of shocked that we didn't get a Tempest Trial unit, though. Like, I think IS has been getting really stingy for us F2P players.
Are you guys ready for my Halloween rant?
All right, I'm braced. Let's go.
Okay. So I had to cut about 5 to 6 minutes out of my video reaction because I get to Anna, right? It's double Anna, and I'm like, okay, sure, why not? Then I see it's Awakening Anna, and I go, no, IS, you've gone too far. Awakening is already the best like game in FEH by far. Like it's not even close. Awakening like blows everything out the water, right? All the Chroms, all the Robins, all the duo
just
skills.
Those two.
Yeah, there's like a billion of them. They give like freaking there's like 4 Robins, 4 Chroms. It's just like, why are you giving out a harmonic skill to another Awakening unit? Like, just please, IS, like put it on a different game. Like there's Annas in every game. You could have chose anyone else. Any other Anna.
Those two are the best Annas. Like, let's be real, okay?
I'll be real. They're all the same.
Okay, you are no longer allowed on this podcast, Oblivion. You're committed to Anna sin. Fedison will back me up. We'll bring him in.
No, we're not bringing Fedison in. 5 hours of hearing Anna lore.
I mean, yeah. Like, I was shocked like they chose the Annas as their harmonic. I thought they would like choose either like I was hoping for Veil, right? Like that was my hope.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it fit the theme for obvious reasons, but I mean, DTM, are you a little bit like let down? I thought that rant was gonna go much longer.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
It felt kind of. It fizzled at the end there.
I was just there for 5 minutes talking about how much I hate Awakening being like so dominant in this game.
What?
I'm tired of Awakening units.
Awakening is the
best. All I get in all my comment sections are just people talking about Awakening. Like, why does the Awakening get more ults? And I'm just like, what the heck? So, because someone was complaining that like, well, we got Bridal Anna in like May. But, you know, technically, these are different Annas, so it doesn't count as ults for Anna, like, obviously. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Like, I was like about to explode.
I mean, it is Engage Anna at the lead, so it is different.
Don't.
But I mean,
I want 5 different Ikes then.
You have 5 different Ikes, you know? Like, Legendary Ike is super good right now, right?
Oh, right, totally. Awesome. Give me Legendary Ike 2 already.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm just enjoying life. Like, we have the Chroms, the Robins, and the Lucinas.
Oh my
I can use them in SD. It is great. So good. But yeah, let's move on from talking about the best game in the series and on to more speculative things, because in addition to the new banner, there was a huge maintenance that accompanied with it, with like a 170 megabyte update essentially. And we did get some very interesting data mines. We obviously have like the new peony that is in the Tempest Trials. We have the new Ganunga Gap art, but potentially,
well done. Just
and this
rattled
is the thing
that off.
Like made the headlines. Apparently, we have a new slot that's going to be introduced in the game, and there's a lot of speculations on it. What are you two's thoughts on that?
How are you feeling about it, Joel? I want to know what you think.
I'm very scared. I've got all these different scenarios in my head, and they're all kind of scary. Like I'm with you guys, and I don't think they're going to sell us new fodder for a D skill.
I hope not.
I think the good scenario is that it is more like basically what we're seeing in Seer's Snare, where you have kind of a random slot. The bad scenario I have in my head is that you need the unit on your team in order to activate the D skill. And that's like if Peony's on your team, then everyone gets a D slot of no follow-up. And something like that. Or the absolute worst is that you need one peony for every slot of that D NFU that you get. And that's they're all just, I'm like, oh god, what are they gonna do? They don't have a good track record for this. I'm worried.
I'm really worried about that, because I'm like, what if they literally just release a new D slot, and like, let's say the banner has 3 heroes with D slots on it. Now you're in this position where you're like, do I wait for more units with D slots that better fit this unit? Do I pull here and try to get the D slots? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a bad It's kind of like how like last year, I think it was last year, where we got the tier 4 B skills.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, well, I don't really want to put shield defense whatever on everybody because it kind of sucks, you know what I mean? So are they going to do that again? And I can see them doing that because they've been selling skills to us all year. So I'm really nervous about that. I really, please, IS, don't do that. Please, you're going to make people so bad.
Is this the monkey's paw? Because this finally would give you the extra inheritance slot, but you have to worry about D skills now?
Right, exactly. Like, oh yeah, you get 5 inheritances, but there's a D slot. Like, oh god, stop, please. Personally, what I want, I think I talked to you and D-Team about this. Like, in my game mode, one of the things I made was like, you could get an extra slot, and it's like an interchangeable duo seal you can give to a unit, right? But it's like based off an item, like a sacred seal almost. I would love if they did that. That would be so cool. You can make your own like, duo unit essentially out of any unit you love. That would be amazing. But like, how do they do it, right? Do they do it by like, you have to like summon this new type of hero and then inherit the duo skill to a unit? Is it an equipable item? You know what I mean? Like, is it only for specific units? Like, there's just so many options where it goes into like scary territory. So I really hope it's like really friendly, like free to play friendly, or like, where it's not too bad.
Is this how they monetize Seer Snare?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
You can somehow buy them through Seer Snare. Oh god. Okay,
I'm super nervous.
Yeah. The apocalypse is coming.
I mean, it's all still speculative, so but there are definitely a lot of scary scenarios that can happen. Like, again, my scary scenario is that like it is basically similar to Joel in that like you need this unit to unlock a D slot, which is obviously not that great, especially for free-to-play players. Best case scenario for me is pretty much like what Oblivion said. Like, you summon Peony, she has like this ring that you can give to any one of your units, and it gives you like a dual harmonic skill, and it's amazing. And like that would actually be such a cool addition in the game. And
so it's like the florets is basically what it would be.
Kind of, yeah. But hopefully, like, I would rather it be like a seal where you summon it and then it's an item you can equip, so you can switch it around, so you don't have to summon like 20 copies. But realistically, they'll make you summon 20 copies because it makes them more money, right?
Yeah, I totally got that. I meant more the fact that you summon Peony and you don't get more by summoning more of her, but just by summoning one, then you get that seal.
That'd be cool. Personally, like my ideal situation that won't happen is that they put a new game mode in and you get it from playing the game, right? You get progression from playing the game. What? That's crazy. But that probably won't happen.
Yeah. What is your best case scenario, Joel, when it comes to this new D slot?
Honestly, that it's something you get out of the Tempest Trials.
Oh yeah.
That would be
they won't do that, but I just like that. I like the idea that there's or at least one of them out of the Tempest Trial. So you have the free ones, and then if you want to summon Peony, you may get a slightly better one. But that's I would like to give them. I would like for them to give something out that way.
Right. I mean, I am nervous, but I'm also like cautiously optimistic because they did do really good with the rearmed heroes last year, right?
Yes,
like
they did.
Sure, Ascend Floret might have not been like that exciting, but like rearms, they knocked it out of the park. So hopefully, like Dev 1 took the reins here and took control of this. Yeah, because like in like. We forgot to mention this, but like obviously Peony has been data mined to, at least the one in the game is not rearmed or ascended. It's like Peony 2, which signifies it could be a new unit type. And yeah, it's very likely in my opinion that this new D slot would like play into that.
Yeah. On a complete side note, I really wish it wasn't on the fairies. Just for me, I'm like, I saw those fairies and I was like, yes, I get to skip another banner. I have 400 orbs I've been saving. Like, this is the biggest I've ever saved in like months. Like, this is so cool. And they're like, no, you gotta summon. There's some new D slot. I'm like, damn it.
You're like, who's that one person in like the Very Odd Parents? It was like Mr. Crocker or something.
Oh wow. Okay, thanks DTM.
All right, guys. I just did a quick look at what they've done in the past year, they might do a good job with this. So listen, in the past year, we got Rearmed Heroes, Arena Tickets, Otherworldly Bonds, Focus Charge, and Seer Snare. And those were the new things out of this past year. Those are all pretty good. They did a good job with those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, now that you mentioned it, that is a pretty good track record. Like,
Yeah.
all
I don't
right.
think there have been any grand slams, but there's been a lot of like home runs, which is good.
Right.
I don't know if I should use sports. Sorry, that was fine.
I was like, well, we're going baseball here.
My bad.
The worst sport. I'm so sorry.
Oh my! No, stop.
All right, let's not get into a sports discussion. That will like get the flame wars out immediately.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I like the new peony. I like the new Triandra. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. Like, it's really interesting that Triandra only had like one art with her. Like, maybe it means like this peony like comes with Triandra as like, I don't know, an engage ring or something like that, and you can give it out. Maybe this is how we finally get engage mechanics in the game. You never know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Leave it to IS to add engage mechanics on a not engage banner.
No, this is going to have like Peony and Yunaka with Micaiah. Mark my words.
So this past week, DTM told me this theory, and it just broke my brain. That and you had, I don't know where you read this, but the theory is that the Fire Emblem Heroes devs didn't know when Engage was dropping, and that blew my mind, and so many pieces kind of chinked into place there, and I was like, oh my god, that might have actually happened.
Yeah, because it makes so much sense, right? Like, obviously there's like a little bit of time, like since the release of the trailer to the first banner, that they could like rush like 4 units, but then like there's this huge time period where there's nothing happening, and then boom, we get Brodia and the free male Lear, and it's like that time frame fits like the CYL time frame of like making the new units. So yeah, and people are like, well, obviously they like in the same company, they obviously communicate with each other and all that stuff, right? Like, no, like big companies and corporations like that, like you have no idea how siloed like teams are. Like,
seriously, that person does not work at a big company. That is for certain. Whoever said that, that's
right. Yeah. There's one thing I do also want to mention before like we move on with like this state of mind, and that is like Gununga Gap. And I'm just gonna be real, like I did not expect Gununga Gap to like look like that at all. Like Gununga Gap looks super sick, like nothing you expect out of Fire Emblem. It's more like Honkai Star Rail, honestly.
So I was really hyped for this character, and then Rocket Gal made this comment and it ruined it for me, but I'm not mad at her. I'm just saying. She says it looks like an Uber Beast from Pokemon, and I was like, you're right. Oh man, it's over.
I'm looking this up right now.
Oh, like Ultra Beast, right?
Ultra Beast, that's what I meant. Sorry, yeah, Ultra Beast.
It actually does look like an Ultra Beast. Like, I think it reminds me of, it has the aesthetic of, I think, Lunala, I think? Or something like that. It's been a while since I played Sun and Moon.
Right. But yeah, I was just like, oh my gosh, she's right.
I mean,
they're definitely experimenting with the aesthetic. That is for certain.
Right. And that is one thing I really do appreciate about Faye. Like, if you like took this art design like pre-Faye, like this would look so out of place, and like so out of place from like the medieval fantasy style that they've been going for. But because it's Faye, there's a lot more room for experimentations, and you know, sometimes they do fall flat, but sometimes they knock it out of the park, and IS definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. Until I guess Rocket Gal ruined it for you. Sorry, Oblivion.
It's very interesting. I'm like, I don't know how I feel, because I'm like, are they gonna go like full out like new book like this, or is this just like the end of this book, or like what are they gonna be? You know what I mean?
I'm thinking end of this book. That's just my prediction, though.
Right.
But it'd be interesting. I mean, there's a whole. We've got. I mean, in a month and a half, we're gonna get a whole new aesthetic. So that's gonna be interesting.
We'll finally go to Asgard and face Alphador or whoever his name is. We'll finally figure out what Lift's Avengers are doing in the background. Like,
please, yes.
How many years has it been since that?
It's been like 3 years, right? Like, we're approaching 3 years now.
Man.
Since like the end of book 4.
They keep alluding to it, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like that and Fjord's sickness. It's like, I'm gonna die next week. Fjord, like 5 years later, I'm getting a Tempest trial where I get healed. It's like, okay, sure.
Hello, retcon.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, like we are approaching like the end of book 7 and soon to be like book 8. Like this is not the end of book 7 yet, so I don't want to like get into this too much because we'll obviously talk about that more on the next podcast. But like I guess like just looking over the new additions that FEH has added this past year, like what are your overall thoughts on like these new additions and the direction the game IS is pulling towards?
I'll go first on this one. It's tough because like I'm looking at we just saw the game modes. Like I love the game modes. And I think PM1 used the phrase complexity creep, and it just blew my mind.
Yep.
Like I love all the new stuff, but it's so complex. I have trouble sometimes figuring out what's going on. And I mean, I play this game entirely too much. If I'm having difficulties, then I can't even imagine what a casual player, who was it? Stitch on Twitter was posting that she plays every day, but it was like a week or two after the Brave banner, and randomly she saw Brave Corn for the first time, and all the terrain showed up, and she was like, "What is this even?" And they're all neat mechanics, but God, things have gotten so complicated. And I mean, new skill, I mean, they're only going to get more complicated. So that's really the only thing I think they've done a poor job of. Other than that, it's been a pretty decent year.
I think for me, it kind of goes back to one of my old videos, like one of the old FEH reports where I was talking about like design space. And I think we've really cemented ourselves in the problem part of that video where I was talking about like, when it comes to design space, you have two options, right? You open up more design space and you go horizontal, right? And the game becomes more like a wide open, more different variety of things. Or you run out of space and you go up, right? And I think that's kind of where we're at right now, where like we're constantly just like getting new things to replace old things, and it's really fast, right? Like how many God Swords did we go through this year alone, right?
Yeah.
It was nuts. And then we got like Legendary Lear. It just keeps going up, 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 instead of like wide. And I think while they did do a good job of like adding like, you know, arena tickets, otherworldly bonds, you know, focus charge, all those nice things to make the game more quality of life, to make summoning better, I don't think we've gotten the game mode that I really think we need. Like Steer Snares is fun, don't get me wrong, but like we don't have like the Ether Raids addition to the game.
Yeah, you want a major game mode.
Right. And I think one of the things like a lot of people don't know who didn't play originally, like back in the day of FEH, right? Like for a long time, like it was like almost 2 years of FEH. Like FEH was very just casual. Like the competitive mode was arena. Like that was it. And then when Ether Raids showed up, like Ether Raids really reinvigorated the game. It really gave like a whole new way to play the game. It invited a whole new audience to the game, right? Like it just really expanded the design space and the game itself. And I think we're at that point again where it's been so many years of us doing the same thing. And we have lots of different types of game modes. We just don't have that big game mode that needs to like explode the game open. They tried to do it with SD, and I think it was a really well-designed mode. They just really missed the target audience. Like they were just like trying to sell Harry Potter to like Lord of the Rings fans. It's like just not gonna work. You need to sell, right? Like it's just, you need like, this is a PvE fan base of casuals who like want to like spend time with their favorite units and like ship characters. That's what they like to do. So you need to feed them PvE content. Like you don't need to feed them PvP. And I think that's what we just need. We just need that big game mode.
I think earlier in the episode you said it perfectly when you're talking about having a god sword that released and the next month you're having to update their skills, even though this was a month ago, the peak of the meta, and you're updating their skill. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Right. And like that is like the direction IS is going towards, right? Like, it's no longer about units, it's about skills and what new skills you can put on your units. And in some ways, I do think like this is good in that like you can have like your favorites have those skills and perform well, but it does like mean that you have to like keep up to date with that. Thankfully, I don't think there was a scenario where it is quote unquote necessary for competitive content outside of Guidance 4, which is the all-powerful skill we all know and love, I guess. But yeah, other than that though, like you talked about like design space, right, Oblivion? I think there is the potential for there to be more horizontal design space in the form of these new vein skills that IS has introduced with the Brave Heroes. And obviously, they still want the Brave Heroes to feel new and all, so they haven't exactly given us more yet. But I hope that when they come with like new additions in FEH, that's more of the direction they'll go towards instead of like, I don't know, attack speed pledge over attack speed oath for example, or something like that.
Well, that'll be part of the new game mode. The entire surface will be some sort of gauntlet that changes per turn. So you have to adjust your teams.
Yes.
I honestly feel like they need to, like, when it comes to design space, I think the thing that they need to focus on is win conditions. I think too many of our game modes are just like kill the enemy team without losing units. You know what I mean? Like something like that. They really need to like change the win conditions, because when you do that, you change what is good for that strategy, right? Like, so like when we have like Mjolnir Strike, which is a terrible game mode in my opinion. The actual objective of that game mode is to protect the thingies in the back, right? That never actually comes into play. You never actually worry about that. You just kill the units and then they're dead and you win.
But Mjolnir Strike was a great idea that was so poorly executed.
Exactly. But the thing is, with a game mode like that, right? If it was actually more aggressive, like you actually had to defend those things, then units who can like block spaces with like, you know, obstruct or whatever become more valuable, like Gatekeeper. Healers become more valuable because you need to keep your tanks alive, right? And by doing different objectives like that, you add value to other types of units, and that way when it comes to new units coming out, you don't just have to have the new nuke coming out, the new Omni-Tank coming out, the new tank coming out, right? You can just add out a new healer. Guess what this healer does? They have 3 range with their healing. Holy crap, that's insane for this game mode. I love that, right? They need to do that kind of stuff where it's a new game mode that really expands what is good and what kind of strategies are relevant, and also allows you to use more of your barracks. So you have more reason to summon for heroes because you use more of them, right? Instead of just like 20 per week.
Didn't they have something similar to that like beforehand in terms of like relay defense or something? I heard like people did not like that. Yeah.
They designed it really, really poorly. It was so bad.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I thankfully, I guess, never got to experience that. I did get
instead of creative maps, it was each enemy had higher and higher stats, and that was it. Like it was just really boring.
That's the problem with all their difficulty, in my opinion, is that they just make it so the units have more stats instead of like trying to like have the AI act differently, or like have like reinforcements come in different ways. You like some kind of way to make it actually more dynamic difficulty.
On the topic of like alternative win conditions, like I don't know, this might just be a stereotype in the FE fandom, but like I feel like most of the time, even if there are alternative win conditions, like people default to like killing them all, and like you saw that in when like Resonant Battles was a thing and was like actually difficult. Like there were a lot of complaints about, you know, units being super hard to kill and super threatening when obviously the objective is just to kill all the thieves before they reach the end. And so it's going to be interesting to see if there's like a way to design that like fits basically the player base and is well received by that.
Yeah.
And that's so interesting with Resonant Battles. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the problem with that was just that they removed like Gale Force from the strategy. Like they removed strategies from that game mode, which I think is what made people so salty. Because like there were so many cool ways where, oh my god, I'm a Gale Force player and they made a Gale Force game mode for me. Oh my, I'm so happy. And then they're like, no, you don't get a Gale Force or Wings of Mercy. Or
I'm
anything.
still so salty about that, by the way. Like, let me use my Summer Edelgard when it's
exactly.
Like, come on.
The funny one, like a couple months ago, maybe they had a shell in the middle of the map, and she was just impossible to take out. And everyone was complaining. I was like, guys, I just went around her. I mean, that's
Yeah,
exactly.
You have to kill the unit.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna finish that thought. Anyways, but yeah, like,
okay.
Go ahead.
Really interesting thing that someone brought up in my comments, and I apologize, I'm blanking on your name, but they mentioned a design space that they need to explore more is making structures actually useful.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of an interesting thing to think about, like how you add in different things that they do or different structure types or things like that. And that would be fun.
I really need to make this stupid video. I need to just sit down for a month and make this stupid video on my game mode. Because that's like one of the big things is like, I want it to be so that you have structures, but not like Ether Raids where you like make your structure and it just stays there forever. It's like you make structures as you're playing. So like, oh, I'm playing this time, I'm fighting against this type of enemy. I really need like a healing fountain to do this. Or I need a structure that like cleanses debuffs. Or I need a structure that like, stuff like that. There's so much design space they don't use. And the Conquest maps, they need to make more use of that. I think Conquest maps are amazing.
Yes.
They just underutilize them.
Yeah, you've been talking about this new game mode for I feel like over a year now, just between us.
I've been working on it since before Ether Raids came out, and then Ether Raids came out, and I was like, I don't need this anymore.
I think we're all in agreement on the bigger maps. Like that is,
yes.
We have so many heroes, and that's one of the fun things about this game is building all of these different heroes, and I want to be able to use more of them, and the bigger maps let you do that. So that's something that I wish they would explore more.
I also think it like lets you design more intricate maps, so you could have like a big map, and a lot of the map is like water and stuff, and you're like, oh, this is a map I need to bring flyers for, right? And then all of a sudden you're looking at your flyer barracks and trying to build around that, right? I think that would be cool, right? Like you the smaller maps are just, it's hard to like put enough terrain of a certain type to really like influence what you're doing on it. Like even in an AR, right? Like what do you have to do? Like you have to use a desert map, and you have to put like 6 desert tunes in front to block people from doing stuff.
Yep. Or just like go past that with a flyer and then be done.
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's my point. Like they should do stuff like that with bigger maps, so that way it incentivizes the players to use different units for different weeks for different strategies. And I think that would just be so cool. For new players, it could be a little bit rough if they don't have like a very well developed barracks, but it gives them a reason to summon, right? Other than just like your favorites, which is good. I think that because it helps them money wise, and it helps the players have more like creativity.
I mean, so give them more orbs. Like to start the game off, give them more orbs.
Right.
I'm serious. Like that's It won't overpower an account that's been around for a while. Like there's no way.
Honestly, I don't think we need even more orbs. Like I know people are gonna hate me for saying that, but like after playing so many other gachas this past year, like holy crap, is Fire Emblem Heroes generous. Like it's insane how much free currency we get compared to any other gacha game I've ever played. Like every other gacha, they give you a lot in the beginning, and then they just like drip feed you like so hard.
Right, like I used to play Genshin, and like if you're free to play, you literally can only like have enough to reliably summon for a 5-star like once every 4 months or something. Like that is a ridiculous turnaround. While here, like we get 320-ish orbs a month. That's like 2 5-stars, like guaranteed if you have Spark, and like that is something that, you know, like there are definitely like a lot of issues with phase monetization, but they are definitely very generous with their orbs, which, you know, I really do appreciate as a free-to-play player. I don't know if I would be appreciated if we need like a huge barracks, because my barracks is kind of in a sad state when it comes to like meta units. But I do think that like having more of that design space in the mode would be really, really cool.
Oh, but I mean, keep in mind, we're talking about like brigade size.
Right, exactly.
That's not just ginormous, but brigades. Exactly. You definitely have enough meta units to put together a good brigade.
Right, yeah.
And the cool thing is with a PvE game mode, you don't need meta units, right?
Yes.
As much, because you're not competing against other people. You're just competing against the computer. And if they design the game mode where there's no rankings, first of all, which I really think they should not have rankings, and 2, no punishment for losing, then you can just try out different things. And that's what makes the game fun. Oh, I can keep playing the game over and over again, trying out different strategies, trying out different units, right? Like stuff like that. I think that's so much better than like something with Ether Raids where it's like, okay, I played my Ether Raids match. I want to keep playing. Well, what do I do? I'm going to go beat my friends.
And I think like what you described is very similar to like what Seer Snare is right now, but like a lot more in depth. And like that is something like we discussed, like Seer Snare, if it had like a lot more depth to it, like would have been such a good game mode. Like, I mean, it already is a really good game mode, but it could have been like the mech's mainstay.
What are they doing? Like, there has been such an outpour of love for that game mode, and they could expand it so easily, and they're just not. And how many times have we had it? I mean, it's not many. 3?
4?
I think we're coming up
3?
4 very soon. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I would have cranked that thing out every month. I mean, folks are loving that mode.
Like, literally, they could just literally make it so that once you beat it the first time, there's no stamina cap, and there's a hard mode. Instantly a win. Everybody would love
exactly. That. And give a badge if you complete it on hard mode.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it.
Or like a custom accessory or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just Gulveg's horn. Have fun.
Thanks. I think I misheard something there.
That could be taken a number of different ways, and we're gonna move on past.
Oh my god! Okay.
But no, like, yeah, Seer Snare I think has been like probably one of the best modes like IS has ever made, and yeah, they just need to expand on it, and we're all good, right? I don't think it would even be that hard. Like, just give us a hard mode, and like, yeah. Haha, we had Hrid with his one time to shine that one time, but like, like having like more depth would obviously be really, really good.
Yeah.
I have to say, oh, go ahead.
And give us back Grand Conquest. It's been like 6 months. Like, where's Grand Conquest?
Seriously,
I'm dying.
I mean, if they replace Grand Conquest with like a better co-op mode, I wouldn't mind, because the only reason why I like Grand Conquest is like the co-op like streams that we do. But
it has to have brigades, it has to have big maps. If it's co-op, if it's all those things, then I won't mind. But if they remove like the brigades or the big maps or the co-op, I will be tilted.
Yeah. All right. I guess we forgot to just talk about this, but I mean, we had it on refines. I don't think any of them were particularly that stand out.
Oh man.
Okay, I guess which one do you think is the best? And that could be our discussion on that.
I think it was Spring Fur, right? I think she got the best one.
Yeah.
I like Spring Fur the best too. Like, yeah, she's basically like a budget harmonic Anna, I guess.
Right.
Or like an older harmonic Anna.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I see it too. Like, I mean, the other ones were okay. They weren't bad. Like, none of them were like atrociously bad. They were all just fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay.
Yeah, like Larse got some really nice things, but like
it was okay.
We have a bajillion god swords already, so it's like
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. But you know what next month is? Next month is Legendary Dimitri Refine and Remix, and
yes.
Oh man, I'm very looking forward to that one. If they do Dimitri dirty, I'm gonna like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll figure something out.
Have you done
I'm putting out now. They will not do Dimitri dirty. I think he's gonna get a really good refine.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I think he'll get good refine. Like, he has enough to work with. I think that it will be hard to make a bad one. Have you made your refine ranking like effects video for Dimitri yet?
No, I have to do that. So I have to get time for me and Joel to do that. But yeah, I gotta do that soon. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward to that conversation with the two Dimitri Sims, like just going crazy over refine effects.
What do you think is the effect that he needs the most? I guess, just to put it out there.
I want a brave weapon. That's what I want personally.
I mean, any unit, like, what's a thing that could make them better? And you say brave, and that's yes, definitely.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, with Omni tanks, is like, we've gotten to the point where like nukes are so scary, like you really just don't ever want them to have the chance to hit you twice. And that's why I think Legendary Lyra is so good, is because she just like gets hit once and then she punches you twice in the face and you're dead, right? Same with Altina, same with Legendary Seliph. So if they give it to Dimitri, like it lets him omni tank better and it just lets him be a more offensive unit. So like it's a double win to me.
Okay. I'm this is totally like tinfoil hat, harebrained. No one would do this. I would love if they transformed him into a beast unit for his refine.
Maybe follow Dimitri.
That just, oh man, you could start doing like Oblivion. You've been talking about specific like conditions where you transform. Like
Right.
you could start working with that stuff. That would be, it would usher in a new era of beast units, and I just
so cool.
Oh, I would
Imagine
love
if
that.
there was like a unit who's like when you're below 50% HP, you transform.
yeah.
That was
That'd be
really,
so
really
cool. Oh man. Okay, we gotta save this for the video.
Yeah. In
No
his
spoilers
animation, he's eating the weeds.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I'm definitely looking forward to that video. So yeah, I guess this is a shout out. Be sure to subscribe to Oblivion to be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to us as well. We've been talking for about an hour and 15 minutes, which is a pretty decent amount. There was a decent amount, I guess, to cover. But mainly there's just going to be a lot of speculation about what the future has in store for FEH. Any final thoughts?
Next month is the Ninja banner.
Yes.
I'm afraid to see who's going to be on it. Personally, I will always say the same thing. Replace Ninja with Pirates. Just saying. Just saying. Come on.
I mean, we're all One Piece watchers now.
Yes!
You converted us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All you Naruto fans can eat it.
139 episodes in.
Woo! Joel, you are a monster.
I'm on chapter 145, I think, which is like a decent way through like the Drum Island arc.
And you're both doing really good. Really excited to hear all your impressions eventually.
Eventually, we'll get there.
And I guess again, like these sound really breezy and easy to do. Just understand that that's because DTM puts a lot of work into these. He's a very good host, and sometimes the easy things are the harder things to do. Like it means a lot of effort went into them in order to make them go smoothly. So just keep that in mind, and I definitely hit that like button. And if you've got it, the super chats are always nice. We make it is about 0.18 cents per view. So that's not dollars, that's cents. So yeah, just know that we definitely don't do this for the money.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a labor of love. Like, yeah, no one's quitting our jobs for this or anything.
No.
I always wanted to be poor. I'm going to do it.
But yeah, thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you to both for being here. As always, it's always super fun to talk about FEH on this podcast. And yeah, we're going to await with bated breath to see what IS does next. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Again, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, not only to my channel, but to Oblivion and Joel's channel as well. The link will be in the description down below. Only takes 5 seconds, so yeah, do it. There's no excuse. Just do it, okay? But yeah, thank you all so much. Let us know down in the comments what your favorite new addition is in FEH from the past month. What you're excited / scared for whatever they could do with this new unit type / skill slot. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next time. Bye, everyone.
Take care and schedule an appointment with your ghoul phagologist real soon.